sure you have each of the overhead auxiliary switches flipped from away from you to turn all lights and PTOs on. Ensure that you've engaged the emergency brake pedal fully to ensure that your crane operation PTO functions. Flip the two switches up that have to do with high rail braking and what's the other one? Sorry.
Reversing.
Oh, and reversing lights. Thank you. You've got a bracket up here that allows for the locking of the steering wheel, much like we have on our other models. Be careful of it. It will break. Also on this model of truck, we have a shunt switch that can be utilized when necessary. Mitchell high rail gear, very, very simple to use. You've got the front gear and the back gear both utilizing locking pins that need to be undone prior to lifting or lowering the associated high rail gear. On the front gear, it's very simple. Reach up underneath, fully marked right here, high rail lock, quarter turn counterclockwise and pull the pin. Quarter turn clockwise to lock it back in place. That gear is locked and ready to go. Same scenario with the rear gear. You've got a handle here that just requires a counterclockwise turn of 90 degrees. Pull the pin. When you do this and pull the pin both on front and rear gears, you can see the associated pin moving if you look closely. Pull it all the way out, quarter turn to lock it back in place. Repeat that exercise on both sides of the truck to make sure that all of the locking pins are pulled out to allow for deployment of the gear. All pins have been removed. We're ready to deploy the gear. Unlike some of the training that people have gotten in the past, this truck is fully capable of raising front gear or rear gear first. We've been choosing to lower the high rail gear in front to begin the exercise. The pins have been removed, so we simply go to the yellow box here at the front of the cab, press the down button for down, the up button for up. As we push this, we should see the rail deploy. Once it gets fully deployed down, we want to hold that button for approximately 2 seconds to ensure that it's fully in place. Once that exercise is complete, on this front gear only, we get back underneath our high rail locks and lock that pin back into place on the front gear. It's imperative that that happens. Should go all the way in. You should be able to see the pin locked into place underneath here. Rotate it back in and lock it into place. I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Deployment of the rear gear follows the same scenario. Unlock the pins, which have already been accomplished, and then we're going to use the yellow box on the back of the cab for down buttons and up buttons for deploying this gear, just like on the front. You want to hold it for an extra 2 seconds when we're done. Now that rear gear is fully deployed. Unlike the front gear, this pin has no method of being able to be latched. With its center over design, the rear pin can't be utilized. There's no way to put it in there, but the truck is ready to high rail.
So, you bring them, yeah, whenever you're first coming off, you want to watch, make sure your switch is set. Good. locks and switches are where you'll derail. Yeah.
Is there a speed limit when you're on the track? Is that right?
Kind of if you got a trailer, if you're in the yard, it's only 5.
Right. Up, PTO was engaged, but it wasn't, the motor wasn't amped up, right? The way we build these is you have to have your parking brake engaged. Once that's engaged, that red light goes on, and the RPMs go up to about 1,000 RPM, 750 to 1,000. Okay? Real quickly, all we've done to this truck is we put your switches up top, we put a PTO light down below with a PTO meter, and we put a PDM in here. PDM and your battery charger for your remote control.
What's PDM stand for?
Power distribution module. Okay. So what happens is we get the chassis pre-wired. It comes into this. This is not a computer. This is just distributes our power to the different functions. Okay. There are a couple empty posts in there. Should you need to have a hock for something, so you don't necessarily have to cut into another wire. All right. But that also in there is a battery that is always being charged. Here's your battery.
Yeah. So you've got 2 batteries, one there and one in the charger at all times. Yeah, we found that out.
It's a wire hot.
Okay. So it's even trickling when the truck's not running.
But once the battery's charged, it stops.
Okay.
It doesn't blow
Okay,
in.
that's a good thing to know. That was one of the questions I had.
So if the truck sits for a week and let's say the battery is bad, you put it in there, it's going to still try to charge that for a
No,
week?
if the truck isn't running either, it won't.
Okay, okay, that's what I'm
When I
saying.
say battery hot, the little light will stay on,
Yeah.
but it will turn to yellow. It's not charging.
Okay, so when the truck gets shut off, okay,
Yeah.
all
But
right,
once
good.
it kicks on, and once it gets full, it stops, so we don't have to keep replacing the battery.
Right,
Okay.
right.
All right. All right. So we've already talked about that. We've got the battery charger in there. We've got your inverter. We've got your PDM. Hot post.
The inverter, do you have a separate battery bank for that? Or does it run?
It's up there.
It's up there? Okay. Oh, that's right.
Thank you for pointing that out. I knew it was somewhere on the truck. I was going to look for it. I'm going
I-
to take Bob's lead and say it's up there. All right.
I remember seeing it now. I just forgot about it.
Okay. So real briefly, guys, this is an Effer 65. Obviously, your inverter's up there, so we can hook up our coffee, microwave, whatever it is we
Right.
want. I'm joking. That's right. All right, Effer 65. It is a Effer 65 1S. What that means is it's a Model 65, which means absolutely nothing. I'm sure it means something to the folks in Italy.
Is that where it was manufactured in Italy?
Yes, sir. All knuckle booms, including the ones that they claim are built in the United States, are manufactured in Italy or Europe, and brought over here, and we do that. So we have an agreement with Effer. We're their sole distributor. We're their sole parts supplier, and we handle all maintenance. So the Altec group will handle your maintenance. So if you have a problem, call 877-GO-ALTEC, give them the unit number, and we can come fix it. Okay?
All right.
Pretty simple machine. This machine is a 1S, which means it has one extending internal boom, or a 1S. So to turn this thing on, your PTO is engaged, you're ready to go to work. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to extend the outriggers. These are manual outriggers. First thing you want to do is spin this to an unlocked position. All right. You pull up this little tab here, grab the handle, pull it on out. You'll notice when you fully extend, this locks back into place automatically. That's so the outrigger will not flow on you. At this point, pop this cotter pin. So simple any child can do it. Pull the pin, swing it down. Now we're looking for one thing and one thing only with this setup, and that is to be beyond this yellow mark. If they don't go beyond the yellow mark, the unit will not lock itself into place. All right, that pin will stay out, which could be susceptible to movement. We don't want movement. Movement is a bad thing on outriggers. Simply slide the pin in and lock it. Do the same thing on the other side. To turn on the machine, that's on. Simply twist the remote control. It pops on. Hit this button right here once and then twice. Number 2 honks the horn. The second time you'll notice back over here, a green light comes on. And if you can see, there's a green light right up there flashing. That means the unit is now fired up and ready to rock. Okay? So, right here on your remote control, we'll kind of go over this real fast if you don't mind. Remote controls are universal through all manufacturers. Rotation, first cylinder, second cylinder, extension. If you had other things like a winch or something like that, that's what those are for. But these are dead. The only one that's live on this machine is this. This is your outriggers. Okay. Down here you can increase your RPMs, turn on and off your engine. If you had any kind of lights or things hooked to this, we could turn those on and off of that. Right now they're not activated. You have a fast mode with a rabbit, slow mode with a turtle. Again, your engine start stop. This is also used if you don't send a signal to this for 3 to 5 minutes, it goes to sleep. So to wake it up, just hit that button. That's all you have to do. Last but not least is this bad boy right here. To the right, it says stabilizer. To the left, it says crane. Right now we're in stabilizer mode. We don't want to extend our stabilizers. So if you can pan here, this is your valve for your stabilizer. Stabilizer, right now it's in lock mode. Simply turn it and hit this button. Okay, and it goes down. Okay, we don't quite hit the ground. For that reason, we have these blocks right here. Sorry, we're ad-libbing.
Why don't I grab that?
Okay, so all we're looking for on this, and I'll share it with you once we get it down. We want this to lift enough to close that gap. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Correct. This is truly a stabilizer. It is not an outrigger. Make sense? Okay. So now that that's out, we close the diverter, go to the other side, do the same thing.
That's irregardless of how long the throw is, if we have to build that up.
You have to build that up, whatever.
We're simply talking about closing that valve.
Correct. Correct. Because you want it to take the weight off
on
of
the top.
Yeah.
Explain the blue knob again, the conditions.
The blue valve is this locks it in place, so it doesn't have a check valve in it. So this closes the valve so you cannot have any bleed off. Okay? So open the valve. You open the valve so you can extend and retract. So either way I do this, I can extend it, I can retract it. That's all it does. So it just allows flow. Once you're done with the flow, you need to close that valve.
Close it back.
Okay? Because if you leave that open, the other side won't go down.
Oh,
One side open at a time.
okay.
Make sense? Let's go around. Okay? On this side, same thing. Simply open the valve, hit the button, hit it the correct way, it works better. Again, we're just trying to get the weight off the crane. There we go. We're all set, right? We got a little weight right there. We're fat and sassy, we're good to go. We now close that valve. Okay, back to the remote control. We now will take this from stabilizer mode into crane mode. It's that simple. You pick up on the switch and you move it. Okay, we're now in crane mode. So what you don't see is if you don't use this for a while, they tend to bleed off, right? So the pressure bleeds off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to charge up the unit so they all tighten everything up before we bring it out of the rut.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so again, Rotation, first cylinder, second cylinder, extend, retract. So I just go ahead and I grab them and I just push them forward, give them a little bit of shove, tighten everything up, okay? So now we're ready to come out of the rest. If you follow the arrows, the little arrows here will show you the direction of travel, right? On the back side is the opposite. You kind of got to look. So to bring it out of the rest, you simply pull it out of the rest. She comes out. First section is up. Make sure you're what we're saying. You bring it out of the rest. Bring it up high enough by using the next switch. And swing that arm out. I'm assuming we're depowerized on this.
We are, but I'm still going to be the spotter here.
Okay.
Just, we got some other business going on over here that could cause us some grief. So.
Once this is brought out of the rest, we can rotate. However you'd like to rotate. Of course, then you have your extend and retract feature, which is this button here. The beauty of the articulating crane is you can just knuckle it into any position. If you would like to pick up a switch, or whatever it is you're doing, you can certainly work both knuckles at once. One at a time, whatever makes you happy. Fully extended at 17 feet 5 inches, you have 2,620 pounds of capacity. As you retract it, fully retracted, it's 3,745 pounds, and at that first knuckle, you have about 5,500 pounds. Okay, so what that means is, as long as you're within that 7 feet 11, however you articulate it, you can pick up 5,500 pounds. Make sense?
7 feet from the turret, you get 55.
Correct. So
all the way out
we were to
is
suck this bad boy in.
We were able to get a good picture of the chart. My phone's wing that way.
So right in this area, and within your 5,500 pound capacity.
okay.
As you swing out, it diminishes out to 37.45 at full extension on this one. Then full extension to the third, you're at 26.20. So you have plenty of weight. And that's here we go, 26.20. Correct. All right. This machine, as I pull it in, just for giggles, so I'm not swinging over anybody's head. I'm trying to make sure I stay out of make sure I stay out of your wires here.
It's slug, it only goes so high.
Yeah. As I swing around, this unit is 360 degrees, all right? But it will stop. And then you have to go back around. The reason for that is, if you come around here, putting it away is almost as important as taking it out of the rest. The important thing is, all these cool things up here, your hydraulic tank, your electronics, you can totally wipe them out. So we need to be careful when we're putting it away. Obviously we want to retract fully when we put it away. We also want to make sure we have a high angle with our number one valve, our number one extension cylinder. So we take that, we tuck this guy away. And rotate this guy around. Now, you have a receiver, or excuse me, a tip up there that you're trying to land into this receiver. All right. So as we bring this cylinder down, we need to be aware, as I said before, that we're coming down over our electronics and our tank. The machine will slow itself down as we get down there. It's just kind of a self-protective mode. So you're not going to be moving too bloody fast. We're talking about this. That is correct. Okay? So we're trying to get that moved into that little slot right there. Just like that. All right? Everything must go through this remote control to operate this crane. If for any reason you were to lose power to this remote control, or something happens to your antenna, whatever it may be, you have a plug here, and you have a plug here, and you have an umbilical cord. They simply go together. Once they're hooked together, the remote will work identical to what I just showed you. A couple things to notice we're really concerned about are all your stickers. Anything in red is a warning. It means pay attention to it. Anything in any other color, blue, yellow, they're just recommendations, warnings, those kind of things. But red is a danger. We don't want to crush people's feet, but equally important, we want to see what our ground's doing underneath our outriggers. Okay? Please be aware of that, and please do not stand in the swing of this leg. This will hurt you. It's very heavy.